more involved in the lesson. Okay, so we are going to have a quick reminder of comparing. So tell me, when we have to compare fractions and we have different denominators, okay, there are some steps that we have to follow. And so our first step is we list the multiples of both denominators and we find our lowest common multiple, and that becomes the denominator for both. And this is quite important because we're going to use this later on in this lesson for something else. Okay. And then we can find a new denominator and we can compare. So we didn't finish these last week. So I'm going to give us a little bit of time now. So to get your brains all warmed up and ready to go, we are going to do these three. We're going to do the first one together again to remind ourselves how to do them. And then I'm going to let you get on and do some more of them. Okay, so I'm going to ask Sancha. Hi, Sancha. I see your face. It's a beautiful face. So welcome. Okay, so Sancha, can you, if we have to list the multiples of 6 and 2, can you list the multiples of 6 for me? Just the first 3.
1,
Whoop.
2, and 3.
Okay, so remember we went to the multiples. So the multiples are the times table answers for the 6 times table.
Oh, okay. I'm not quite sure.
So think about your 6 times table. So 6 times 1 is?
6.
6 times 2?
12.
6 times 3?
18.
There we go. Okay,
Oh,
that's it. And the first 3 multiples of 2?
2, 4, and 6.
2, 4, and 6. Have you got double screen open, Sanjay?
I'm not sure. This is my first time.
Okay, I think you might have 2 Zooms open. You might be here twice, which is why we're getting a bit of feedback. So just see if you hear twice and then close one of them. That might make it easier. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Anati, what is my smallest number that's in both of my lists? Which number's in both of my lists of multiples?
6.
It is 6. Okay, so 6 is my lowest common multiple, and that's going to become my new denominator. Okay, and so we can keep 5 over 6 the same because we haven't changed that. And what did I have to multiply my 2 by to make that a 6? Jolie, what did I multiply the 2 by to make it a 6?
You multiplied it by 3.
I multiplied by 3. Excellent.
And
okay.
And what you do at the bottom, you do at the top.
Yay!
So it's 3 times 1 is 3.
3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so remember the golden rule. What you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. All right, and now I can compare. And 5 over 6 is bigger than 3 over 6. All right, so your job now, everybody, if you have a question, you can pop it in the chat quickly while the others are working. Your job is to do as many as you can in the next 4 minutes. Okay, so in 4 minutes, how many can you do? Okay, and if you have a question, you can pop your question in the chat and we'll talk to you. Okay, Paul, have you got a question? Your hand is raised.
Oh, ma'am, I did by mistake, ma'am. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Can you unraise it? Pop it down. Thank you, my love. And iPhone 13. Who's iPhone 13 again? I know I ask you this every lesson. You are doing as many ones as you can. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, and F in 4 minutes, or 3 minutes now, as many as you can. But start with B, and then they get a little bit more difficult as we go. Okay. Got a few people finished. 2 more minutes. Don't worry about being busy. Focus on the work.
$45.
Okay, so Kungalo, we are working out, we are changing all the denominators to the same so that we can compare the fraction sizes and see which one's bigger and which one's smaller. We're starting with B, and then we're going to carry on going as far as you can in the next 1 minute. Yes, Isipo, you're going to carry on after B. Okay, so we do as many as we can in the time and see how far we get. And there's no rush to finish them all. We're just seeing how far we can get. I always put lots in so that if people go faster, they've got extra to keep them busy with. Twins are done. Hey, you guys are doing really nicely. I'm very impressed. And I think our time is up. So, Asamahle, you are going to do B for us, please, Asamahle. And don't worry, Vuyakazi, that's okay. Even if you just listen for a little while, that's cool. Okay. Maria, did you want to do one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Maria, you are doing C for us. And Oratiwe, are you doing D?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll stop at D for now. And then Aziza, you want to do E? Okay, Aziza's going to do E for me. And then we'll see if anyone wants to volunteer to do F. Okay, so let's have S, because Nima, would you like to do
Nima,
F? That's
please.
fine. Cool. All right. So who was my B? Okay, B, you can unmute and talk to us. Who was doing B?
Asamahle.
Asamahle?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to do B for us? Okay, Asamahle,
Yes.
what? Okay, so what is my lowest common multiple to become my lowest common denominator? My lowest denominator.
8.
It's going to be 8. Okay, so I haven't had to change the first one. So I'm going to leave that one as is. And what did I have to do to my 4 to make it an 8?
2. You times by 2.
Times by 2. So I must do the same to my top here.
Yes.
Okay, so what's my new fraction going to be?
6/8.
6/8. Absolutely beautiful. All right, and now can we compare them?
Yes.
And which one is bigger?
6/8.
6/8 is bigger than 3/8. Excellent. Well done, Asamahle. That is beautiful. Well done. Nailed it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Right, who was C? C was a
Ma'am.
nice one. Okay, go for it. Talk to me.
Ma'am, you leave the
denominator the same, and then then I left it the same because there wasn't any.
Because there's no different denominator. The denominators are the same.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Okay, and so which one is the bigger fraction?
7/6.
7/6 is bigger. And do you know what kind of fraction we call that? Remember, he's got a special name.
An improper fraction.
That's right, an improper fraction. Fabulous. Really good. Well done. Thank you very much. Rocking at this. Oh, you guys are going to ace the adding and subtracting later. That's fabulous. Okay, who was my D? Who was doing D for me?
Me, ma'am.
Okay, let's hear it.
Ma'am, so first we write down multiples of 15, which is 15, 30, and 45. Then we write down the multiples of 5, which is 5, 10, and 15. The first number that is common is 15, ma'am. And to get to 15, we multiplied 5 times 3. So what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So the answer will be 6/15.
Good job. Okay, and so which one is bigger?
6/15.
6/15. Excellent. Check that confidence going on there. Well done. I love it. Very cool. Okay, E. Oh, you guys are on track here. Hi, Nombolelo. Right. 6/8 is the same as 3/4. Yeah. Okay. So let's see who was doing E. Was it Aziza doing E or was it Mpho?
It was me,
Aziza.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Aziza, talk to us.
So math isn't we have an improper fraction, so we try and make it into a mixed fraction. So isn't it 11/2 is 2 is the denominator, then 5 is the whole number, and then we have 1 as a numerator.
Okay.
5 times 10, 2 times 5 equals 10 plus 1 is 11, which is 11/2. Then we have 5/6, which means it's 5/6 that's bigger.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a second because you've gotten I'm really impressed that you managed to convert that improper fraction to a mixed number. That was perfectly done. Okay, but I want you to use pizza for a second. Okay, so Aziza, imagine you've got one pizza that you cut into 6 pieces, and then I give you 5 out of those 6. Yeah, so you get 5 out of the 6 pieces of pizza. But I take 5 whole pizzas and half a pizza and I give them to Mbali. Who gets more pizza?
Mbali.
Mbali's going to get more pizza, isn't he? Because he's going to get 5 whole pizzas, right? So this way it's going to be 5.5 is bigger, okay? And if we want to compare them using fractions, then we're still going to make the denominators out of 6, okay? And 2 can go into 6 3 times. So we multiply by 3, and we're going to times the top by 3, which means 11 times 3 is 33. So that's actually 33/6 compared to 5/6. And then we can see very clearly that that one, 33/6 is bigger. Okay, does that make sense, Aziza?
Yes.
Awesome, but really well done for getting the improper fraction to a mixed number. That is brilliant. Really, really, really impressed. And that's going to help us later because I'm going to give you some of those to do later. All right, and F. Nima was F, I think.
So to compare these fractions, you would need to get the denominators the same. That would make it easier. So the LCM is 12, and 4 times 12 is, no, not 4 times 12. 4 times 3 is 12, and you'd have to do the same for the numerator. So 1 times 3 is 3. So the bigger fraction is 4/12.
4/12. Excellent. Really well done. Thank you very much. That was very smoothly done. Okay. So Nima was doing F. So who can tell me can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a halfway thumb? If you are, how are you feeling about doing this work? How are you feeling about the comparing fractions? I'd like to get an idea. How are you guys doing? Okay. Got some people is being happy. We've got a not so happy.
Thumbs up.
Couple of not so
Naomi?
happies. That's cool.
Thumbs down.
Thanks, Asipo. Anyone else? Got a couple of thumbs up. Oh, someone's on fire. Okay. This is making Ethel crazy, so that's cool. That's very cool. Although Ethel's not Ethel. Hey, Ethel's mom, I think. Got a couple of thumbs down. Okay, cool. Then we're gonna practice more of these. Okay, so I'm assuming that it's the changing it's the denominators that's causing the confusion. Okay, so if it's the denominators causing the confusion, we're going to practice that some more. All right, so don't stress too much. All right, okay. So let's have a look at simplifying. And this is where we're going to practice a little bit, okay, with changing denominators. Actually, you know what? Let's do some, I want to do one or two of these, okay, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a new one. Excuse me, I'm going to make the board small for a bit and then I'm going to make it big so we've got some extra paper to write on. There we go. Okay. So because there's a couple of people that are still a little bit stuck with this, we're going to do a teeny tiny bit more and then we'll move on. All right. So even if you nailed this and you are 100% happy, this is good revision for you. Okay. So if I need to compare things, I need them the same because it's very difficult to compare things when they're called different names and when they're different types of fractions. So we need to have them the same type of fraction. So if I've got a half and I need to compare it to a third, okay, they're two very different types of fractions because the one, my whole piece is cut into half, it's cut into two pieces, and in one of them my whole piece is cut into three pieces, and that's quite tricky to compare. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make them the same type of fraction.
You make it into 6 pairs.
Okay, so we can make it into 6. So what we need to do is we need to find our lowest common multiple. So we write down the times tables for 2. So the multiples of 2, which is 2, 4, 6, 8. And we write down our multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9. Hollyhoxy. 3, 6, and 9. And we look to see what's the first number in both lists, which is 6. So 6 is now our new denominator. Okay, so far so good. So 6 is now our new denominator because it's going to let us compare them. All right. Now we have to ask ourselves, what did we times our 2 by? So this guy, what did we times him by to turn him into 6? Well, we multiplied it by 3. And the golden rule, yep, that's right. And what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I multiply the top by 3. And 3 times 1 is 3. And so a half, that's right. A half is the same as 3/6. Okay. Now I need to do the same thing on the other side. And I think what did I times 3 by to get 6? And I times the 3 by 2, which means I have to times the 1 by 2. And 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, now can I compare them? Yes, because I've got both things are split into 6 pieces. And then I can compare that 3 is bigger than 2. Okay, so the whole reason why I'm changing my denominators up is because I want to be able to compare, and it's too difficult to compare them when my denominators are different. Okay, so I need to get the denominators the same and then I can compare them. All right, and so to do that, I'm going to look at the lowest common multiple, okay, to make a new denominator. All right. So the multiplying the numerator and denominator is purely because we changed the 2 into a 6. So this 2 became a 6, but it wasn't by magic. We changed the 2 into a 6 by using some maths. And we said, how did we get the 2 into a 6? Well, we went times by 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's how we said 2 times 3, and that gave me the 6.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
and
ma'am.
then, all right, and then this is the same with the 3. We said, how do we turn the 3 into 6? We said we went 3, 6, so 3, 6, we times it by 2. And so we have to do the same thing to the top, we times it by 2. Okay, and that's how we get our new denominators and numerators for comparing. All right, okay, so let's leave the chat for questions about the maths, right? And Naomi, you can stay on for a couple of minutes at the end, all right? Okay. Oh, Angel, that's excellent. I'm glad. We're going to start decimals next week. Next Monday, we're going to do some decimals. All right, so this should be a walk in the park for you. Okay, we're going to move on quickly, otherwise we're going to run out of time. And I'm going to give you a little brain break. Right, so are you ready for your brain break? Here it comes. We have, oh, the ice cream truck is visiting us. Here we have a clue for your riddle. A clue is a fun sport that uses a ball. What is it? So you have to take the first 3/5 of socks, the first 1/6 of circle, and the last 2/6 of mother. And then you've got to figure out what the sport is that they're talking about. So if you think, I'm going to give you a clue. Socks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters, and you need to have the first 3/5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 3 out of the 5, so you're going to need that part. Okay, and then you do that with the rest of the letters. And see if you can figure out what the riddle is.
I know.
Some people know. That's good.
Ma'am, I'm a bit confused.
Okay, so it's just a little bit of a riddle. Okay, you're taking, so if we look at the word socks, there's 5 letters in the word socks, and our fraction is 3 out of 5. So you want to take the first 3 out of the 5. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to write that down. Okay, and then you want the first 1/6 of circle, and circle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you want the first 1 of circle, and see what the last 2 letters are going to be.
Oh, okay, I got it, ma'am.
Awesome. Ah, I see some obvies. Excellent. Yay! Oh, someone's favorite sport. That is excellent. Soccer is great. Lots of favorites. My favorite's cricket.
My favorite is sleeping.
Yes, sleeping is great. Sleeping is excellent.
I
That's
don't
my
like
favorite
sleeping.
hobby. You know
My
what?
favorite is watching YouTube.
Doesn't
The
like
older you
sleeping.
guys get, the older
The
you guys
more
get,
you're
the
gonna
more
love
you're
it.
gonna love
Trust me.
sleeping. Sleeping is lots of fun.
Mine's netball.
Oh, some people sleeping. Ooh. We've got some Man United fans.
Soccer.
Do you love playing soccer? That's excellent. And swimming. Very, very
I like
cool.
PSG.
I'm back from swimming right now.
Oh, I love it. It's so hot in Cape Town. I'd
Yeah,
love
no,
to be
that's
in the
nice.
pool.
I'm jealous. Whoever went
Swimming
I'm
swimming,
all the way in
awesome.
Langebaan. I love
Oh, in
swimming.
Langebaan. Langebaan is cool.
Yeah. Ma'am.
Yes.
what's up? What's going on?
Ma'am, I'm in Portugal.
In Portugal.
Ah.
Cool.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Dubai.
That's
Yes, when I'm here to buy.
okay, guys. We're gonna get back to some maths, and we've got Orati we loves rapping. I'm just writing a note here to talk to you about this later, so that we don't get lots of questions. So I'm going to talk to you later about exponents and rate and ratio and decimals and the program. All right, so stop asking for now about ratio and exponents and rate, because we'll talk about it at the end of the lesson. Okay, all right. So I know there have been some questions in the story in the chat about exponents and rate and ratio. We're going to get there. Come. Right. So let's move away from sports. Do you want to have a stand up and a wiggle? Have a stand up and a wiggle. Sometimes a wiggle helps us feel a bit better, and it gives us a chance to get some life flowing through our blood again. Okay. Aziza, have you got a question, or is it a comment?
Wiggle.
A wiggle is when you wiggle your body. You have a bit of a stretch and a wiggle. Have a bit of a dance. Okay, get your buns stretched.
Now.
We're not going to do ratio now. I'm going to talk to you about ratio at the end of the lesson. Okay. All right. Paul, have you got a question?
SWPAT.
Sorry? Okay. If you think of your question, you can pop it in the chat. And or I'll do it as well. Put it in the chat if you can think of your question. All right, my love. Okay. So we are going to have a look quickly at simplifying. Right. Simplifying fractions. We're going to race through this bit. So when you need to simplify, because they're always going to ask you to simplify your fractions, that means you're going to take it down to the smallest numerator and denominator that you can. Right. So you always want to go as small as you possibly can. And that will help you make it a nice simplified fraction. Okay, we don't want to have to do any simplifying at the end. So first step, we need to think about the factors of the numerator and denominator. So those are the numbers. Oh, I know, Nima, sometimes simplifying is a bit of a pain. Hey, we're going to think of the factors of our numerator and denominator. So very quickly, who am I going to ask? I'm going to ask Adele.
Hi, come on, factors.
Adele, what are the factors of 8?
It is 1, 2, 4, and 8.
1, 2, 4, and 8. Excellent. And Anati, what are the factors of 16?
1, 2, 4. 3.
Are you sure 3? Does 3 go into 16?
4.
4, okay.
1,
4 times
2.
4. 1, 2, 4.
8 and 16.
And 16. All right. So, Jolie, actually, let me ask Claudie. Claudie, what is the number is the highest number in both lists? So, what number is in both lists? The highest one.
The highest one would be 8.
The highest one would be 8, right? So 8 is our highest common factor because it's the highest factor that's in both lists. Okay, so now this means that we can divide, we're going to get to some division now. We can divide our numerator by 8 and we can divide our denominator by 8. Right, so Ota, what's 8 divided by 8? Anati, can you read? It's 1, and 16 divided by 8, Ota, is? 2. Excellent. Thank you very much. And that's it. That's all there is to simplifying. Okay? That's all there is to simplifying. So we're going to think through our factors first, and then we're going to divide by the highest common factor. Okay. Should we do another one together? I think let's do one more. Yes. Who's mamming me?
For number 1, you can also divide by 2.
We can. All right. So we can divide it by 2. But can we all mute? There's someone not muted. But if we divide it by 2, 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4, and 16 divided by 2 is going to give me 8. Can I simplify more?
Yes.
Yes, because 4 and 2 can both go in. So if we go by 2 again, then we're going to end up with 2 over 4. And now we can simplify some more, which is going to take us to 1 over 2. Do you see how many more steps I have to take to get it all the way down to the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. So it's easier if you look for the highest common factor first. It makes life a lot easier because then you don't have to do 3 or 4 steps to simplify it down to the
Ma'am, can
simplest
I answer
form.
the next question?
Who's talking to me? I can't see everybody. I can only see 4 faces on my screen at a time. So yes, I will say
that was
yes.
Unati.
Was that Unati?
I think so.
Okay, right. So Unati, do you want to have a look at number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's hear it.
Ma'am, so for number 2, it's 9 over 15. So we are going to find the factors of 9 and the factors of 15.
Okay, so factors of 9 are
1, 3, and 9.
1, 3, and 9. And the factors of 15?
1, 3, and 15.
Wow.
1, 3, 5, and 15.
Okay, perfect. And so what's the highest common factor?
Ma'am, it's 9.
Is 9 in both lists?
No, ma'am. I mean, it's 3. It's 3, ma'am. It's 3.
It's 3. 3 is in both lists. Okay, so because 3 is in both lists, that makes 3 our highest common factor. So now we can divide both of them by 3.
3.
Okay.
Yes,
And 9 divided by 3 is?
3.
And 15 divided by 3 is?
5.
And there we go. We are simplified as far as we can simplify. Okay. All right. So what I would like everybody to do for me quickly is I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do as many of them as you can. All right. So I want you to remember, so we're going to go, so look at the numbers on the screen. 1 is, we've done 1. 2 is next to number 1. 3 is underneath number 1. 4 is under 2.
Ma'am, can we write? Can we write, ma'am?
You can write. Okay. 3 minutes.
All of them.
Or as many as you can in 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
There's 8 of them. See if you can do all 8. If you can only do 2, that's also absolutely perfectly fine. Okay.
So then when we're done, are we just going to answer?
Then you can raise your hand when you're done if you're wanting to answer one, and then I'll call you to answer one. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. I really know those things.
Awesome. Okay. Excellent. So now everyone mute so that everyone else can concentrate. Unati's going to do number 2, Maria 3, Claudie 2, Claudie 4, Maria can do 4, Claudie 5, Unati 6, Orta 7.
Can I do one, ma'am?
Is your hand up? And Fariza is going to do 8.
I raised my hands, ma'am.
Okay, I've run out of ones.
Ma'am.
Shh. If you concentrate, we can chat afterwards. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can everyone mute? Unati, can you mute, please, my darling?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, are we going to write only
Yes, my dear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4 only?
No, you're going to do all 8 if you can.
But all of them.
All of them.
Okay, I understand this. We only multiply or divide.
You're dividing because we're simplifying. Simplify means we divide. Yeah. Got 2 more minutes. Well done, Aziza. $30. Of course, you can go and drink water, Mimi. Okay, and time's up. All right, Unati, you were first up with number 2. Okay, so Unati, you can unmute and tell us about number 2.
Ma'am, we are going to find the factor of 7 and the factor of 21. So the factors of 7 are 1 and 7. And the factors of 21 are 1, 3, 7, and 21.
Okay, and my highest one is?
Ma'am, it's 7.
My highest common factor is 7.
7.
Right. Okay, so I need to divide by 7, yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what's my new answer going to be? What's my simplified answer?
1 over 3.
1 over 3, 1/3. Well done. Excellent.
Nice.
Ma'am, I can't hear you.
So.
Hello. There we go. We couldn't hear you. Okay, we still can't hear you. I can see you moving, but...
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, my headphones keep on glitching. So tell me, what do we call a number that only has factors of 1 and itself? Anati?
Prime number.
A prime number. Excellent. Very good. Okay, cool. Number 4. Who was doing 4 for me? I think Claudia was it. Were you doing 4?
Ma'am, it was me.
Ma'am, it was me.
Okay, who was the me?
Me, ma'am.
Okay, go for it.
Ma'am, what I've done, I found the factors of 2. Wait, and the factors of 2 are 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then the factors of 10.
10 is 10 and 20.
It's 1 and 2 and 5 and 10, ma'am. And then my highest common factor is 2.
Good.
And then as I divide 2 with 10 and 2.
2. Good. And so you ended up with 1/5.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Very good. Well done. Okay. Anati, can you give us just the answer? Otherwise, we're going to run out of time before we get to the good stuff. Anati, just the answer for number 5.
For number 5, it's 1/4.
1/4. Excellent. 1/4. Very good. Okay. Divided both of them by 3. Okay. And Oratilwe, number 6. What's the answer?
1/4. Ma'am, so first I wrote down the factors of 5, which is 1 and 5. And then I wrote the factors of 20, which is 1. Wait, the factors of 20 is 1, 2, 4, and 5, ma'am. And the highest common factor is 5, ma'am. So I divided both of them by 5, which is 1/4.
1/4. Well done. Absolutely brilliant. Good job.
Ma'am, can I take my glass of water?
Yes, go have your glass of water. Go. You don't have to ask if you guys need to go to the toilet or get a glass of water. You must go. Okay, it's not like normal school. So you don't have to ask permission. You can just go and get your water if you're thirsty. All right. So 2's answer was 1/3. I'll put that at 0. My writing was a little bit skewed there. So 1/3. There we go. Right. Number 7. I think 7 was at you, Tara. No, but Tara's hands up. So Tara, can you do 7 for us?
7 is 1/5.
Let's think about that one. So 8/20. So we're going to think of what are the factors of 8. And the factors of 8 are 1,
2, 4, and 8.
And our factors of 20?
1, 2, not really sure.
4 and 5. 4 times 5 and 20. Okay. And which number is in both lists? What's the biggest number that's in both lists?
4.
4 is in both lists. We're going to divide both of them by 4.
4 divided by 4 is...
8 divided by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2.
32.
And 20 divided by 4 is 5.
5.
Okay. Thank you. And who was my 8?
Me, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, Asake.
Me, ma'am.
Me, please, ma'am.
Number 8. I was number 8.
Right. Okay. Let's hear number 8. What's the answer?
The answer is 2/3.
The answer is 2/3. Absolutely correct. Okay. Well done, guys. That's really good. Is this making a bit more sense now? Okay.
A lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fabulous.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. All right. We're going to run out of time in a minute. So, well done, as people. Oh, sorry, Otto, you were supposed to do 7. Sorry, my bad.
But, ma'am.
You can do next time. Can everyone take their hands down so that I can see? I'm seeing lots of raised hands, and then I don't know who's got new hands up and who's not. So let's take our hands down. And then we are going to... Hi, Gift. Sorry, my love. Okay, so then I think next lesson, if your display name is somebody else's name, then tell us in the chat earlier, and then we'll know.
So I can rename you.
Then we can rename you with your actual names. All right. Okay, we are going to do one little riddle before we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a quick little riddle, and then we're going to have to do some extra work Wednesday. So very quickly, exponents, rate and ratio, and algebra. Okay, we are going to do this, but not in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we have got 3 more weeks left of fractions. So 3 weeks left of fractions, and then Naomi, sorry, we've been calling you Naomi. Your name is it Tertia?
Yeah, but I'm used to it, man.
Oh, sorry for that.
Tertia. But it's
sorry, Tertia. Nice to meet you.
Naomi is my mom's name.
We've been calling you your mom's name the whole time.
Yeah,
And my name,
I don't mind.
Oh dear.
And my name is Nolwandle. My name is Nolwandle Zondo.
Okay, so what we're going to do is next lesson on Wednesday, when you come on, if your name is not your actual name, then you're going to write us a letter in the chat so we can change your name for you. All right, not at the end of the lesson.
Yes.
Okay. Who's named admin?
Yeah.
And can I also ask admin and iPhone?
No, ma'am.
There's 2. There's one's name called iPhone.
Yes, that's fine. We're going to get all the names sorted out. So back to this. We're going to do exponents, rate and ratio next after this. Okay. So after this section on fractions, then we're going to do some exponents, and we'll do some rate and ratio. All right. And then algebra we do next term as well. So I know everybody does things in different orders. So some people might be doing exponents now. Some people might be doing rate and ratio now. Some people might be doing fractions. So we're going with fractions now. And then next will be exponents. And then we'll do some rate and ratio after that. All right. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the theme for the next little while.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So some problem solving. Here's one for you guys. You can choose to either do a more difficult one, which is the yellow one, or a simple one, which is the pink one. Right. So you're going to try and figure out. So remember to mute yourselves now. You've got to try and figure out what the last number is by deciding what each emoji counts for. So each emoji has a special number that it means. So maybe everyone try the pink one, and we'll save the yellow one for next time, because we're going to run out of time. So I'm actually going to do this quickly. Oops, it's gone. And we're going to go like that. And we're going to do the pink one for now. All right.
So, ma'am, is it just a training?
No, it is not for trading.
Okay, we're going to try and figure this one out. I'll give you a clue. Okay, I'll give you a clue. So the smiley face all have the same, they're all for the same amount. So the smiley face, when you add 3 of them together, it's going to give you 48. So you think what's 48 divided by 3? So 48 splits up into 3 groups. If you want to use a calculator, you can.
16.
It is 16. Okay, so the smiley face means 16. 16 plus 16 plus 16 is 48. Right? Now I've got sticking out tongue face. So 2 sticking out tongue faces plus another 2 give me 36. So how many sticky out tongues have I got altogether? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives me 4 sticky out tongue faces. I can say 36 divided by 4 is going to give me another number. And then I can use all of that information to work out the answer.
12.
Oh, what's 36 divided by 4?
9.
9. Okay, so here I've got a 9 plus 9. So that's going to be an 18. Plus 16 is 32. Plus a 9. And what does that give me altogether?
18 plus 32. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37.
Ma'am, isn't it 59?
59, ma'am.
59, ma'am.
59?
59, ma'am.
Yeah, we got it right, mate.
59.
59.
Give yourself a really big pat on the back if you got it. Well done.
Well
And
done,
we'll
guys.
another
Well
one.
done.
Well done. We'll do
59.
another one next lesson.
Thank you.
Well done.